Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. In tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the overpowered PKM LMG, which is in my opinion in the top 5 weapons in this game, and is definitely one that's more of like a hidden god gun, I guess you could say, because traditionally people think the best guns in the game are going to be assault rifles and SMGs because that's how it's worked in the majority of Call of Duty games. But in this game, there's actually some marksman rifles and specifically some shotguns and LMGs that are absolutely busted. And even though this weapon did receive a tiny bit of nerfs in the latest update, almost all of the really good weapons in this game receive some nerfs, so it's sort of even the playing field anyway. This weapon still is absolutely incredible, and for the playstyle that works in this game, especially if you're playing 10v10 or ground war, having an LMG and controlling power positions and with a fast time to kill weapon like this, it's just absolutely insane. We're going to go ahead and talk about it, give the best class setup for it, talk about the perks, talk about the attachment, and what makes this weapon so good. If you could drop a like on this video, let's go ahead and go for 782 likes. That would be absolutely incredible. Smash that like button. I will have up later tonight another video with an updated like top 5 setups in this game after the patch, because the patch did change quite a few things, especially around, I mean, the EOD buff is just ridiculous. EOD is so damn strong in this game, and other things like overkill are still very strong as well. But I'm definitely making an updated top class setups video later, so drop a like on this thing. Let's go ahead and go for 782 likes. Is that the amount I said? I don't know. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. Once again, we're at like 986,000 subscribers, I think, getting so close to 1 million. So I really do appreciate everyone subscribing. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, be part of that journey, the first 1 million subscribers. Really do appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get right into this. So first of all, let's cover what makes this weapon so good. Now, what makes this weapon so good, in my opinion, it is the best LMG in this game. Now, it does not have the fastest time to kill. The MG34, actually, the time to kill is slightly better than the PKM. The PKM is the second fastest time to kill out of all the LMGs. It also beats most of the ARs in terms of time to kill up close, and even some of the SMGs because of how deadly this weapon is. And the thing about the time to kill on this weapon, why I don't go with the MG34 as the best LMG, even though it does kill a tiny bit faster, is the fact that that one has 50 bullets, this one has 100, and I just find that the PKM has a lot better handling, and having the 100 bullets by default is absolutely incredible because really you don't have to run sleight of hand, and if you want to, you could, but you won't be reloading too often. I mean, just watch this gameplay. This is a full gameplay, and I don't even get that many reloads off. Or you could run with the 200 round magazine, but then you're slowing down your weapon even more. And on a weapon like an LMG, you'll see how this class setup is designed to, because this thing has such a fast time to kill up close, even though the damage at the mid range was nerfed a little bit and the hip fire was nerfed, which was, kind of deserving because it was just absolutely busted beforehand. This weapon kills so unbelievably fast. It's like you're deleting enemies. So if you can have attachments that speed this thing up and make it nice, it becomes one of the best weapons in the game. So that's why I choose it as the best LMG, even though it doesn't have the fastest time to kill. It's right there behind the MG, but having 50 bullets in an LMG, it's like you kind of are forced to use extended mags or something if you're using that weapon, and then that slows it down. The whole point of using an LMG is to have big rounds in the gun, as well as to be able to post up and high damage, which is what you get out of this weapon. So as far as the perk setup that I go with this thing, it's pretty simple. I go EOD, Ghost, and then tune up with the Claymore and the stim shot. EOD is very good right now. I mean, it was good beforehand, and then once it's been buffed, you don't really, I mean, you can run through Claymores, you can get hit by nades, and the combo you got to watch out for is the famous nade shot combo, where they throw a nade into the building right as a player's rushing you. That can really screw you over, and that can really be costly. But EOD, traditionally, if you're full health, you don't really have to worry too much about explosives, and it's very nice to have in perk 1. Perk 2, I rock with Ghost. The thing with Ghost is it works nice on this setup, as well as just because the game is new, or not only because the game is new, just because of how the kill streaks work in this game, tons of people are going to be running personal radars, going to be running UAVs, and even advanced UAVs, although you don't see those as often. Ghost is very helpful for probably just the traditional UAV. A lot of people still rely on that, even though you honestly can't rely on the map in this game for a multitude of reasons because of how they changed how it works when you shoot, how it works when you have Ghost, and honestly, the one thing you can pretty much rely on in this game is footsteps, unless they have dead silence. But a lot of players still do try to rely on the minimap because that's how Call of Duty has been traditionally. And if you have Ghost, you can basically just fly under the radar, and a lot of times people go, well, where did that guy come from? You get a bunch of free kills. Tune up, pretty self-explanatory as well, to be able to get my field upgrades quicker. You could run, if you want to just get a weapon that literally kills people instantly, you could run stopping power rounds with tune up and just be smacking with that. I think that could be a good idea on this setup as well, or just run with the ammo and dead silence. It's all up to personal preference. I made a video talking about the best field upgrades. Now for attachments, what do I rock with as far as the attachments? So what I'm trying to do is keep this weapon to where it has a good amount of damage, but it still is fast-paced, and I don't have to be super duper slow, because traditionally, naturally, especially on the speed ups, they really do help, because you can use all these weapons, they're a little bit quicker after the patch, but especially SMGs got basically the speed up of the overall speed up, as well as traditionally on the SMG speed up. So on an LMG that's going to be slower, you don't want to cost yourself and make this thing too damn slow to where you're moving around like a grandpa. You know, you want to have it where you have a decent amount of speed. So I use the monolithic suppressor as far as my first attachment. Now this one is not designed for speed. This is designed for keeping my weapon to be very, very strong at those ranges, which is one thing they nerfed a little bit on this thing. And of course, it's still instantly killing people up close, but at mid to long range, this is a lot helpful. And that's the monolithic suppressor. Gives you sound suppression and gives you damage range, and you do lose your ADS speed as well as a bit of aim walking steadiness, but I think it is 100% worth it because of especially some of these other attachments that you'll see here in a second that make up for that, especially the ADS speed. I don't know if we have too much that makes up for the aim walking steadiness, but we have a lot that makes up for the ADS speed, which is of course huge. Getting your gun up fast, even though on this weapon traditionally you should be posted up, it is a very big thing. Next is the heavy barrel. Once again with the heavy barrel, this is another attachment that goes into the big damage, and this is another one that's going to cost us ADS speed, but we're going with damage range and bullet velocity. This is probably the most important attachment on this weapon, and once you get this, the 25.9-inch heavy barrel, this thing becomes a god gun. This is probably the most important attachment, and you'll see once again we're slowing it down a little bit, but I'll show you these next couple attachments that are going to be speeding me up. Very nice. The heavy barrel is awesome. Damage range and bullet velocity. I mean, what else could you want? Those are probably the two most important things on this weapon. And if you also want to talk about recoil, I mean, there's no recoil. If you're having trouble with the recoil, you got to just go into a private match, learn to pull down against that right stick. But what I say about recoil is the same that I say in every video. It's like, you die so quick in this game, you can get a quad feed before you even notice the recoil happening, because a quad feed takes, what, 12 bullets if you hit your shots? You know, it's pretty ridiculous. So those two attachments, very important for keeping this thing to be very powerful at range. Next is going to be the red dot sight. I run with the Cronin LP945 mini reflex. Pretty self-explanatory why I rock with that. I mean, this is all just personal preference, what you like best. Of course, you lose a bit of ADS speed, but you get good accuracy. And on weapons where I'm not fully in love with the iron sights or default sights, I like that there's a bunch of options. You know, you got your GI mini reflexes, you got your circular red dots, you got a bunch of different ones. So if there's weapons where I'm sort of iffy or not 100% all in on the default sights, I just go ahead and slap that on, and I really do like using the Cronin sight on this thing. Then the next two attachments, here are the attachments that really get to speeding this weapon up. These first ones give me big damage, well, I guess you could say accuracy on the red dot, but these are the attachments that speed this thing up amazingly. No stock is what I rock as far as my stock, and the thing with this is I'm not getting the aim walking movement speed from a traditional stock, but that's okay. I have to play with that in mind. But what I do get is I get plus on movement speed and a plus on ADS speed, which is absolutely huge for this weapon, because once again, making up for a bit of that ADS speed and plussing on movement speed, plus with this patch update, it really does, even though it's an LMG, you can move around. And even if you're popping dead silence, you get a little bit of speed increase when you pop dead silence, just a tiny bit. Very important. And what you give up on this is aiming stability and recoil control, but once again, I don't think that's big of a deal because you're killing people so fast. By the way, in this gameplay, I was going absolutely dumb, and I was using good kill streaks, and then halfway through, this stupid glitch happens in the game where they just change my kill streaks to like a sentry gun and a predator missile. It's just an unbelievable glitch that's been happening to me, happening to some of my friends as well. I mean, this game is just completely bugged. That pissed me off because this was like a pretty good gameplay. I think it was 60 kill gameplay, and if I had my normal streaks, I mean, who knows? Could have been 70, could have been 80, who really knows? I had to place down the sentry gun. I didn't know. I was like, what the heck is happening? Obviously, just a stupid glitch that was happening in this game. But yeah, no stock is absolutely incredible. And then as far as the last attachment, that's going to go with the rear grip, the stippled grip tape. Once again, we give aiming stability, but we're getting ADS speed and sprint to fire speed, which is huge. You can see, like I said earlier, I'm making up for the ADS speed with these attachments, and getting the sprint to fire speed is also very nice. Now, traditionally, you shouldn't be running around and gunning with this weapon too much, even though you kind of can because of this setup, how it's designed with no stock and stippled grip tape. I honestly, this is one of my favorite setups in the entire game because of the fact that it's basically the best of both worlds. This is some Hannah Montana. You're tapped into Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus at the same time. The people have no idea. They don't know how to counter this. You got good speed, and you got a weapon that's decent handling, especially for an LMG, and you have a weapon that just smacks people at range and kills instantly up close. I mean, what else could you want? This is definitely a top 5 weapon in this game, like I talked about before, and this thing is absolutely amazing. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Definitely go ahead and use this weapon. Like a lot of weapons in this game, I don't think this is, I mean, it's great when you first get it, but but you're going to have a lot of flaws to it. But once you level this thing up and unlock all these attachments, it becomes an absolute god gun, and one that I think, you know, people are going to, a lot of people are probably already using the LMGs a lot in Ground War, but I think once it gets more into the meta, a lot of people will be using these in 6v6 and 10v10 and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you guys could drop a like, that would be absolutely incredible. Like I said, I mean, I uploaded a video earlier talking about the patch notes, talking about the upcoming patch, and there's also more stuff to talk about in regards to that. I got to cover these class setups. I have a lot of stuff to do, but I've been working hard, and I've just been appreciating y'all's support. So drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.